Okay, so we are recording now. So yeah, so basically, let me just go back over that. So as I was sort of mentioning, doing it like this is perfectly fine, and you may prefer to do it like this. I mean, you could just literally go to the if you hover at the bottom of a block, you can add a new block, and then these are the different elements that you can add to that block. So let's say I wanted to add in a column one. So I just typed in col, and then there's the columns. And let's say we wanted to do a 30-70 split. So then what I might do with that, so there you can see it's added in this block, but this block consists of 2 columns. So in the left-hand column, I might say, okay, well, I want to put an image in there, and then I could just, pick an image to go in there. And then in the text here, I could just put a paragraph.
Got it.
And then I could take this script that you've already written, and we could put it in there. And then so that would then look a little bit more
perfect.
Like. Yeah. However, there is an alternative way to do it, which is I'll just get rid of this quick, as we can always add it in later. In fact, actually, so let's remove that. So the other way of doing it is to use the actual posts. Is it posts?
Posts, right?
No, sorry, it's presenters.
Presenters.
Okay, so your presenters are like a page for each presenter. So instead of it being a list like you had in the previous page, think of each in the presenter section. Each presenter has their own page. So if I look at John MacGyver here, so here you can see we've got his write-up here, and we've attached his picture here, and I'll create a new one in a second. But as you can see, it's got a summary there. But it may not look great on it, because if we could, if we were to preview this, it wouldn't necessarily look fantastic. It would just be a picture and his write-up. So what you could do instead is you could do exactly what we just done, which is actually, let's go on here and do column, do a 30-70 split, put his image into there, just as we did before, and then put his text in there as well. So now we've got like a slightly nicer layout to the page. Obviously, at that point, I can get rid of this block here. If we're happy with the image over here and that, then there's just a couple of other settings I want to turn off. I'm going to turn off the show the main image below the title, because otherwise it will just automatically bash the image in, which we don't want. Okay. So our title is John MacGyver, however it's pronounced.
MacGyver,
yeah. So we've got right up for him, we've got that, and let's say we wanted to add something else, like a link to his personal page or something like that. We could put a button in, and then we could go, okay, well, this is linking to then his Facebook page or whatever. I just went on the button, ticked on the link, and can type in the link there. And obviously I can put in the text. Etc. So you could kind of build a simple page for each presenter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this one, and then I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to go back to presenters, and this time I'm going to click on create, and I'll create a completely new one. So let's create one for you. So Russ Garrow. Sorry. And so what I'll do in a minute, I'm going to actually show you how you can make a template for the presenters that has the column in, so we don't have to do it each time. And we only have to do that once, obviously. But so same thing. I'm just going to put a image in for you. Is it okay if I just use anything that we've got here, or?
Sure.
Okay, so let's just go with a logo here. and then so I'm going to go onto here and just put that in. I want to make sure I pick an image for you. So I'll pick the same one because we haven't got a picture of you, or maybe we have, I don't know, but you can put one in. And you can just, you don't need to do a category, these are presenters. So, but we do want to just put just a single sentence in for the description. And the reason we're doing this is the stuff over here on this side is going to be displayed in the blocks. The blocks you've seen where it's hit Russ and John and Mike or whatever. So the information we put in here is like the summary that will be displayed, and then this is the actual page. So I hit publish again. Okay. So now if I go back to my list of presenters, you can see we've got yourself, we've got John, and we've got a couple of pre-made ones that are in there that need to be removed.
Yeah.
Now, incidentally, it's exactly the same process for shows as well. So you can see you've made a couple of shows, and if you go in here, you could do the same thing really. And it might well be that it is the same thing. It's a picture and a slug of text that describes the show.
Yeah.
I'll come back to why we've got shows and presenters in a minute. But for now, we've got these two presenters that we want to put in there, and obviously you can then fill that out further. So to represent these on the page, on the people page, we can go to pages, and then so this is a list of pages that are currently in the website.
Right.
So you've got the home page, contact page,
right,
all that stuff. But we're interested in the people page, and then what I'm going to do is I'll just delete this grid, and I will just add a new one in to the top here. So the way this works is if you do a search for post, and it wants to be, I think there's a presenters one actually. No, there isn't. I think there's a show one, but anyway, a post one is fine. So advanced post grid. So what this does is you can give it a title. So let's go with which we probably don't need because we probably just use the title up here. And then we want to say what type of thing we want to present. So presenters, and you might say I want a maximum of 8 of them, or you might want all of them. I think if you just put it down to, if you don't leave something in there, now the only other thing I want to do is I want to move that to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave your script, your text you've got in here, because that'll be useful for when you're creating the write-ups for everyone.
Right.
But so now we've got this grid at the top there. So what I'm going to do is click on publish, and if I go to my page here, I'm just going to hit refresh so go to meet the team, and here you can see we've got John and Russ.
Right.
And if we click on that, it will take us to that page. Only I forgot to turn off the image on your one. So, but if I go into John, you can see it's got its title. It looks a bit cleaner, a bit neater.
Yeah.
So let me just go back into presenters, and on your one, on advanced, I'm just going to turn off show the image because we've already manually put the image in. I tell you what, actually, we might do is I might replace this with a image of a person just so that it's clear in the future. So replace. So just doesn't matter too much, I don't suppose, at this stage. And then similarly, the in here. I'm just going to pick the same image. So when I go back here now, you also notice because I changed it to meet the team, that's updated the thing there, though I didn't need the dots on there, of course. So now you can see we've got the there in it, because we set the maximum to 20, but obviously they've only got 4 in here, which is why there are 4 being displayed at the moment. So let's tidy this page up a little bit more. So if I go back to my pages and go back to meet the team, so probably maybe we would just call it team, because that'll be what's on the title. You can change them later if you need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add in a paragraph. So and then I'm just going to take that block. I'm just going to move it up. Okay, so that's fine, but that will be very compressed. So what I'm also going to do is add in a spacer block.
Oh, okay.
And then spacer, you can say how many pixels. So let's say 50 pixels. And what really helps is I can actually I do want to just move that one up one, actually. Move that one down one. Doesn't matter which way around I do it. But with the spacer blocks, you can also do copy, and then if you just go paste, I think Control V maybe. So if you highlight that and do Control V, and it does it above it, that doesn't matter. So when you do Control V, it just puts it above the thing. But the problem is I was in the middle of the block there, so I actually posted it in there. So now we've got a little bit of a space in there. Probably we don't need 50, probably 20 is fine. So if I hit publish now, so now you can see we've got a bit of space there. We've got meet the hardworking team from Cape Fear, and then you're in there. So if we just add one more of those, or just to highlight the point. So I go back to web content, go to presenters, and let's create another one for Chris. Is it Cardman? Was it?
Cadman. No R. Yeah.
Okay. And so so then we just grab his copy. So I'm just going to chuck an image in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do it from the media library. Do a paragraph block in here. And I could do the same thing here. Actually, I should pick a different image, really, shouldn't I? Because otherwise, we've already got somebody who's using that image. So, okay. So obviously, that's the wrong image, but you hopefully get the idea. So again, just going to pick a little bit of text point here. Now you might well rewrite this rather than just copy and paste, but it doesn't really matter too much. The other thing I want to do is turn off the image. Okay. So now when I refresh this page, You can see we've got Chris, we've got you, we've got John,
Yeah.
and the other two presenters there. So what I could do is go into the those presenters, and I could go into them, and I think it's on advanced. Yeah, delete presenter. So you just say yes, yes. Are you really sure? Have to put your password in.
Right.
You won't have to do the password each time, I don't think.
Okay.
I think it's just a case of on the particular one. So that's it. It deleted it in the background. So let's get rid of that one as well. Okay, so now we've just got the 3 presenters that we want. And because we've deleted those other 2 now, this, if I just refresh this, possibly what I might have to do is go into the page and load up the team page and just resave the team page. You shouldn't have to do that, but equally, I think that forces an update. I think otherwise it might take a short time for it to come across. But as you can see now, because we deleted those other 2, those the blocks are correct now. Here you can see about the slug of text I was talking about. You want to keep them roughly the same, so it doesn't look uneven, really. But that's just a aesthetic thing, really. All right, so you're okay with that so far?
Yes.
Brilliant. Good. So going back to this, I mean, obviously you could just all you need is that there, and you can put in a slug of text here like, do you want to join the team, contact us, or something like that. That type of thing. But essentially you build up your team by going onto the web content and adding the presenter pages in like that. That's how you would add your team. But what I'm going to do is I'm just
how do I add a presenter page there?
Go into web content, presenters, and then hit create.
Oh, create. Got it. I didn't see that. Okay. Understood. Yeah.
And that will just open up a blank one that you can then
build
things with.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust the I think it's in options. I have to. Yes, here they are. So in the settings, website, and options, you can actually adjust the sort of template page for a presenter, for a show, or for a post. So I'm gonna edit this to adjust it. So you can see basically what I've got is I've got the information in here. So it's a bit nerdy, but what I'm going to do is say, okay, well, I actually want to add in a column, add in my 30 split. And really that's all I want to do, because it just, if I hit publish on that, so that just means that when I next go into web content and presenters and create my new presenter, it might take a few seconds to kind of pick that up, but it should do the the column split as we said there, as I said there. I'll come back to this in a minute and check it is working, because honestly, I don't think I've ever done that before. So
okay.
It should. That's exactly what it's supposed to do, but I do need to check to see if it has actually done it. So let's just go and see. So that is in there. I'll tell you what, we'll also put the images off, so that is good. Yeah, so that is good. Okay. So shows are very similar. Let's just have a look at one of your shows. So it's basically exactly the same. You've got a show and you've got a slug of text and some images. So let's do a similar thing where I'm gonna use the same type of layout, I think. So I'm just gonna put a image in for my show. Okay, and I can then also assign a presenter. So let's say you presented the breakfast show. Then so what I've done, oops, I accidentally put a block in there, so I'll just get rid of that. So that's fine. The reason we do this is that in our schedule, if you look at the calendar, you can see you've got the Breakfast Club in here. So I can see that you've done that. So that's cool. So the way that the schedule works is you have the calendar view, which is any date. So you can literally go forward and see what's going to be in the schedule on the 2nd of May, and it will be there. Then you have the assignment grid, and the assignment grid is the kind of default. So if I click on, we've got only one in here, which is the default. So if I click on edit, you can see that that's in it. So this is the pattern that will be repeated week after week. So let's say we also want to do the Breakfast Club on Thursday morning, could literally go in there and say, okay, well, let's have the Breakfast Club. And we can say what day we're talking about. So I could say also on Friday. So from 7 till 10, that's going to be in there. And you hit save. And then what will happen is on the player, the system knows, wrong one. The system knows what the show is because we told it. So on your player, when you're not playing a song, it will drop back to the show information. So while you're not playing a song, it will say, oh yeah, it's the Cape Fear Breakfast Club and a picture of the Breakfast Club show. So when you're playing your jingles, your adverts, that type of thing, rather than it being blank, it will drop back to the to that information. But also on your player, go to the settings and go to the player. So on your player itself, you do have a scheduled tab, and then on there is the show. So you can see on
got it.
Yeah, on Thursday that's in there. So basically it allows you, it's a very simple way of then publishing your schedule. So the reason we have the difference between the calendar and the assignments is assignments can run from a specific date. So if I click on edit, I can say this is a default one or run for a specific time. So in the run up to Christmas, for example, you might have different assignment that is going to automatically pick up and display stuff on your website at that particular time. But if I go back to the calendar view, then what might happen is this is your default, but just so happens this particular Friday, you've got a different show on. So what you can do is you can click on Friday's breakfast show and you can say do a one-off change or an edit template. Now, obviously, if I change the template, this will affect every Friday. Yeah. But if I just did a one-off, I can then say, actually, this is Specialist 2 running from there. So you can see then that it's, I didn't do the, what I needed to do with Specialist 2 was say it runs to 09. 59. Okay, so now just this Friday, we've got Special 2, and it shows you that this day has been overridden. So now we know there's some differences in the schedule just for this Friday. I believe if you click on that button there, it will revert back to the normal one. But I'll leave it there just in case so you can see the difference. Okay. Does that all make sense so far?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So we know how to add presenters, and we know how to add shows, and I'll show you how to just create a new page from scratch. Let's say you want to have an advertisers page. So go to the settings, and unfortunately you'll get used to where things are because they're either in settings or web content. There is some logic to it, but I'm not sure what that logic was because I can never work it out either. But basically, if you go to enabled pages, this is where you can manage the pages. So here you can see you've got some different pages. What I'm going to do is I'm creating a new one. So what I'll do is I'll just create a new one. So I click on add up here, and this will add new page. When you add it, you can choose one of the sort of pre-built pages, but actually what you want is a custom page. So I'm going to create a new custom page, and I'm going to call this page support us, something like that. It doesn't really matter for the demo. So now we have the support us page, and I click on and if I want to edit it, I can click on the little edit button, and then that'll open up a new tab with the support page. So this then gets built pretty much exactly the same way as the previous ones we looked at. So I might just say start off with, personally, I prefer columns, but it's entirely up to you how you do it. But I just think it's a good way of presenting information. So let's put your logo in there, and then I'm going to put a heading in here. Okay, so I've got in this column, I've got a heading, a couple of slugs of text, and then I'm going to put a button in the bottom here. On this one, contact us, which is fine, but I also want to change a few attributes on this. So on the right hand side is this sort of attributes for the element you've selected. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to make it like that. So it's an outline button, and I can choose the text and background colors in here if I want to. I'm also going to make it a 50% width button. And then I'm also going to, on here, select the block that the button is in and change the alignment, change the justification to be center. Okay, so now I've got a nice simple page. But what I'm also going to do
is the link embedded in Contact Us somewhere?
Good point. Yeah, I forgot to show you that bit. You're absolutely right. You have to click on link, and then now this bit is a bit rubbish, if I'm honest. And it's something we're working on at the moment. But basically, we need to just put /content. So what we need is a browse to do that, but currently it isn't there. So, so what you need to sort of go onto the web page. I mean, you could just take that whole thing, and that would also work. So if I hit publish, because this one isn't going to be sort of in a grid or anything like that, we don't really need to fill in the image or the slug of text, because there won't be anywhere where it's listed as a grid. So that's created our support us page, but we still need to list it on our menu, because at the moment we've got all these different ones on here. And I guess we've got the advertise button, which is I could have actually, you can see on this advertise one, I've done it a different way, where I've put the I've put the contact form directly on there, which may be something you would prefer to do. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's good because you've got both examples there. But in order to deal with the menu side of things, if you go onto the website section in settings and then go to the menu builder, this allows you to add or remove or change the order of stuff that's on the menu there.
Okay.
So if I'm going to add, and I'm going to add the support us one. So that's now put in there. So now I could just change the order if I want to.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is there. That probably shouldn't be there. So what I can do is
I wondered about that. But and to change the order, is it just click and drag?
Yeah, just grab the 3 lines and then drag them up to where you want to. So so now if I go back in here, because that shouldn't update automatically. So now you can see we've got the support us page. And when we click on that, it just takes us there. But actually, that alignment wants to be left, not center. That's just because I have to do that type of thing. So I will just go in here and you need to highlight the whole block to justify everything inside the block. Justify it left. Hit publish. There you go. And that should take us to the contact page. Okay, so that's how you would add in a new page as well, or edit an existing page.
Just quickly, how do I add images to the media library?
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem at all. So let's go back to our home page. So let's say we want to add new image to this block here. So we click on image, and then you can go to the media library, or you can click on upload. But if I click on the media library, I always prefer to use the media library.
Oh, I can upload directly from my photos. Okay.
So you can then go to your photos. I won't go into your photo. Oh no, it's my photos, isn't it? That's fine. So I can upload a picture of my cat.
Okay.
And it'll just put it in there.
Okay.
My cat, which obviously you do want to get rid of. So it's as easy as that. You can also go into there, and if I hit replace and I go to the media library, you can also do a search. So I could do a search within my library. So it might be, if I put logo, it might come up with something. But you could also do a search online as well. So let's say I did want to put boat. I haven't got any boat, but if I click on search online, then this uses a website called Pixels, which is a totally free, or Pixabay, or Pixels, I can't remember. Either way, whichever one it is a totally free site that you can use the images on royalty free. So we can literally select an image in here, and that will be, it takes a few seconds to download it and stuff, but so that should be displayed there. So let's I think it's still downloading. One of the problems with that is that they are very high quality images to start with, and then they sort of downgrade. The thing will actually, the website will scale them for the web when it
Okay.
puts them in, but when you drag them down, they're quite high quality, the ones on the internet that come from the library. So
Got it.
but yeah, so yeah, you can put that in there. Obviously what you want to do is delete picture of my cat, but what we probably do want to do is probably put your logo in there. So
Yeah.
okay, all right, so so that's how you add images.
Got it.
Now,
Easy.
just to clean up, so let's take a look at what we have, and we can go
Mhm.
through and we can clean up. So on our home page, obviously we probably want the team, right?
Mhm.
And probably, I don't know if you want text. You obviously you will want the text, I imagine. So let's just do a bit of a cleanup on this page. So if I go into here, obviously we have our script here, which is fine, and then you've got a couple of blocks which you're just using for spaces, which is also fine. Probably don't want the news grid here yet, or are you going
Correct.
to add some new stuff?
No. We'll do that later. So
We do want to show the images.
yeah.
Let's what I'll do is I'm just going to replace this image with something a bit more. Okay. These things you don't need, so we can just literally
Right. Yep.
get rid of them, unless you want to, but you could add in some bullet points or anything you want
But
to.
now I know how to do it. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for now, certainly on the home page, we don't really need a lot, do we? We just need to have the bare minimum, sort of stuff to get by. So let's go look at this now.
Yep. Looking good.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. Might do on this one here, you can set a minimum height. So let's set that minimum height to be 300 pixels. Just make it look a bit. There we go. Not too bad.
How do I see that image on top?
This one.
How do you change that?
Yeah. That's actually in the settings section. So in there, in the website, everything we're doing is in the website, and that's actually in the options section. And it's one of the design options. So basically so where is it? It's in here. I can't remember. Should know where these things are. Yeah, it's in there. So let's
okay.
let's try that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just sort of gives us a look. In here is also where you would set the color schemes for the whole site as well, which I think looks like you've already done.
Yeah.
So let's go back to this one and reload that up again. So looking a little bit better now. So we can also tidy up the menu, because we don't need all these right at this moment in time.
Correct. We don't need listen now. We don't need schedule now. But we can add those in later.
Yeah, absolutely. You can add them in. Same with catch up.
Yeah.
And well, either one of those, I guess.
Support us. Take out advertise. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's probably
that's
what you need for now.
Right.
Okay. So yeah. So if I go to team, go in there, we could tidy that up as well. Really. Why don't we just create the rest of these we've got
Yeah,
we might as well create those other two as well. That way we'll have all of the correct team in place.
yeah, that'd be great.
So where is that? That's in content presenters. Hasn't done the columns. I'll have to ask tech about that in case I've done something wrong there. So let's, for these placeholders, I'll just put that image in, but then you can
Sure.
replace it afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can replace them with real things later.
Mm-hmm.
There's my title. Whoops.
Mm-hmm. What does that error message mean?
It's because I hadn't hit save draft, so I was trying to publish it before I saved it.
Got it.
It should save whenever you make a change. So if I add in another block here and put an image in, when I come out of it, it saves it. Sometimes it doesn't. So if you get that error message, just hit save and you should be good to go.
Okay.
Same thing. Sometimes you can't see publish.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit save draft, then that enables publish. So it basically periodically saves, but if it hasn't saved recently, it doesn't let you publish.
Okay.
But it does save, every few seconds, so you shouldn't hopefully have any issues with losing content or anything. So go back to my pages and let's go into the team page, because we now should have everything we need. So we don't need these anymore.
Right. Awesome.
You might want to put a cover image in here. Let's put one in. Let's put that image back in, but as a cover.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how much quicker I'd be at everything if I could type. So let's justify that center for the outline personally, but it's a personal choice.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Do I want to be text color white,
Yeah.
background color, let's say black. And somewhere there's a full width. For some reason I've got a slider block in there and I wanted a cover block.
Mm.
Oh no, it's just done the same thing. Oh well, never mind. I'll just it's all good for your video.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's getting there. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more. But let's have a look. I'm intrigued as to how I'd make that full width. If I go to the home page, so let's not see any difference at all.
Mm.
I'll ask the tech team about that and drop you an email about that afterwards.
Okay.
How to make it, but I mean it's a minor thing really, but yeah, the cover images should be full width like that.
Right.
Whereas currently on the team one, it's not, and I don't know why.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, so these should all be working now. So you can go in there and I need to turn that one off on that one. Obviously, yeah, forgot on that one. So go back into presenters. Sure why that's displaying that. All right. After this call, I'll get them to check that as well because it shouldn't be.
Okay.
Because we're turning that one off, it shouldn't show the main image. Yeah. Right. So we've done a bit of cleanup.
Yep. Very
fixed
good.
teams, and we've created a new page. And it's not in too bad a position at the moment.
No, could you click on about? And I think there might be, but you could show me a better way to format that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, what did you have in mind?
Well, I guess that's okay. I guess the question is if I wanted to add, so this is, you go to about, is there a way to, I guess it goes back to posts or pages or lists, add other segments, like for instance, add an FAQ, add a mission statement.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
So you just, again, it's just wherever you want to add them, you add the blocks in. So so let's say we want to add a mission statement underneath here, then it might be that it's text and image. It's where we say, okay, well, let's put our logo. Oh, whoops, clicked on upload instead of media library. So let's put the logo in there and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
so you can put that in there. It might be that with the image, we want it to be smaller so we can use the kind of sense hide here. Yeah, so we could do that type of thing. As we saw earlier, we could just put a column, some columns in. So you can just put in a column like that. Other ways you could, we've already looked at the cover photo. A lot of these aren't that useful, but you can predefine text block. I'm quite sure what that does. Oh yeah, so that's like the built-in sort of presenter layouts and stuff like that. But we don't want to use that.
Right.
But yeah, so you could just go in and add in extra stuff in here.
Okay.
Either sort of median text or by using the columns, or cover. I mean, cover images are a really useful way of breaking up a page as well, because it gives you the ability to kind of, sort of add this wide marker with a bit of nice image and a bit of text over the top.
Okay.
That's pretty useful. You can put tables in, that type of thing, embed videos. If you've got a Mixcloud account, you can display that there.
So now that you've added another component to about, what does that look like on the page? Can we preview it?
Yeah, sure. So you can click on preview, and that will show you what it looks like.
Okay, got it.
So it might be that you look at that and you say, yeah, that's great, but what I really want to do is take that overall block and I want to put it right at the top.
Yeah.
And put a spacer underneath here.
Okay.
Or a text block. I mean, a text block works as a spacer just as well. It's just you don't put any text in. So if I click on preview now, I might have had to click save first.
Got it. Okay. All right.
So that's So that's pretty good. Now, one of the things that you can also do is currently our title is what's displayed in the menu. So it's like about, but you might want something a bit better for your title. So I might put about Cape Fear. Is it Cape Fear Radio? Is that how it's?
Yes.
Okay, so I've done that, but the problem with that is that's going to make our menu maybe potentially not look right. But if we go to the, you remember when we looked at the menu builder earlier, when we decided what pages we were including in our menu, you can, in here, I think you can click on that one and you can type in what you want it to say.
Got it.
So, the title is about Cape Fear Radio, but you can change it. So, for example, support us. You may not want that. You might want to change that to advertise or something.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Just while we're here looking at the footer, I think you said you didn't need the public file.
Right.
So you could get rid of that if you wanted.
And if I want to change the titles, you just literally change it right there in the page, correct? Yeah, got it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And you might also, if you want to add something else, so if you wanted to add, the support us.
Yeah.
You might want to add that in so that these ones I don't think you have to save. So you can see support us is in there. Okay. So the other thing we can do is, like, as you saw there, the home page has this. There's the menu on this side and a small logo, and this big sort of chunk of space, and that's because that's where the player will sit when you're live. So that's where you sort of your Launchbox player. Whereas when you go into the Teams or any of the other things, you can see it just has a menu along the bottom there. So you can, if you want to, while you're waiting, while you're getting set up, if you go into options and in the design options, I think it's this one here. Yeah. So that one there changes it so that the menu sits the same on all of them, including the home page. So it's entirely up to you which you prefer. I'll leave it on for now, but you can obviously turn it back off again if you don't want it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's probably quite a lot to take in.
It is, but it's so helpful that we recorded it.
Yeah. Should we chuck a weather block in, actually? Let's put a weather block in for you.
Yeah.
What we need to do is work out where in the world you are. Where in the world are you?
Right there. No.
Whereabouts?
Yep, right there.
East Coast.
Yep.
Okay, so so then if I go back to my home page now, so go to web content, pages, and home page. So we want to add in a weather block. So whereabouts are you?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
North Carolina. So you are
right there, right around there.
Yeah. Let's do today's weather.
It's raining.
Let's see if it knows. It's raining here as well.
Okay.
Not really. It says it's cloudy.
Yeah, it's cloudy right now. Yeah. Drizzly.
Yeah. That's not really great, is it? Let's just change that to be current weather. Of course, you might need to zoom in further and be a bit more accurate with that.
Yeah.
But that's how you would add in that. So I mean, it's pretty easy, really. Just to put space in to enable the publish, because most of the other ones have a save draft. For some reason, the homepage doesn't, and I don't really understand why. But there you go, 22 and cloudy apparently. I'll get rid of that because but it's there if you needed it.
Got it.
And the other thing is a slider one, which might be useful. So if you do a slider widget. So the way this works is, let's say we wanted to go for a image inside the slider. So I'm just going to go for that one and then add another image. Should be that one. No, pick something that's of a similar aspect ratio.
Horizontal.
Yep. So not much use. You'd think I'd be able to find a couple that are. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I failed miserably on that, but that doesn't matter. So, and then what you can do with a slider, because the reason sliders are really handy is because they're quite often things that people so I go into. Yeah, so in the slider one, you can say the image size and rotation speed. So every few seconds, every 30 seconds, it's going to change.
Oh, that's cool.
So obviously you would want to do something better with the images. Images.
Yeah.
But you can also, instead of them just being images, you can actually, if I just select this whole widget and delete it and then put another slider in, you can actually then put a cover image in, which is a much nicer way of doing it in a lot of ways, because with a cover image, you go, okay, well, I'm going to use this one and put and then add another cover image below that.
Okay.
Yeah, so then you get the idea. You can, rather than just have this static image, you could have a couple of messages rotating.
That's cool.
But I mean, I think in general, the thing to do, having had a look at, had a sort of a run through and got the kind of basics in place now, is to just sort of start looking through and seeing what else you want to do.
Yes.
And think about, okay, well, how can I make the widgets work the way I want them to?
Yeah.
There is quite extensive help on the help site, which I pointed to last time. But of course, one, you couldn't access the settings in the first place, and two, until you've actually seen it in action, I think it's sometimes a little difficult to visualize. But now that you've hopefully, well, one, we've got a website now that's in a reasonable position just as a starting block.
Yeah, just a placeholder for sure. It's really, how do we switch it to a live website?
Okay, let me show you how to do that. I was just going to check to make sure that your contact page is actually going to send somewhere. So on there. Oh yeah, info at Cape. That's the right website, right?
Yes.
So to make it a live website, what you need to do is, do you already have a domain?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do is okay. So you go to custom domain, and then in here, click add, and you type in the domain that you own, well, capefairradio.com or whatever it is,
right?
And click add, and that does this end of the system, which is okay. It now thinks it knows to respond to capefairradio.com, but you also have to update the DNS at the other end. So this document I've just got up here sort of walks you through the process. So the first bit is put in your domain into there and hit add. So that's added in, and you can also add different ones. So we've got Purgatory FM and www.purgatory.fm. But then on the other side, you need to put these records into the DNS. So whoever your host is, let's say it's GoDaddy or I don't know, any of those types of hosts,
Right.
they'll have a login that you can use to change the ICANN records and the DNS records. And basically, you just put in the details that are on the screen here, and that will then tell the DNS at their end, who the people are hosting the top level domain name, where to go. So these IP addresses are for our server clusters. So so that will then when someone types in that domain, it will go to our server clusters, and then our server clusters they're looking for capefearradio.com. I know which website to serve them, and gives them your website.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll just pop this. Do you know if you have access to your DNS stuff?
I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you must have. Whoever registered the domain.
Yeah, I think Chris registered the domain, so he must.
Yes. So yeah, he must have. I mean, if you've got it, I mean, everyone has it. It's just not everyone knows how to do it, of course. We can help a little bit. Certainly if you're really stuck, we can have a go. We can have a look for you, but it's usually pretty easy.
Okay.
Because most of these things are designed to be fairly simple now.
Okay.
So I don't think you need to do. I think it's just a case of having that information and finding the stuff.
Right.
So this one here is an example for Cloudflare. So on their thing, you go onto their portal, you set the DNS records, and you can see it's got the A, the C name, things like that, and then you put in the information that's there for the domains, and you kind of save it, and then that's it done. But yeah, it should be. Most people just get this are able to get this working pretty easily.
Okay.
But if you're really stuck, then do give us a ring and we can try and help you out.
Okay, great. You just sent me a link, I saw.
Yeah, that was just a link to this article.
Yeah, perfect.
But equally, you can just go into help.broadcastradio.com
Okay.
and just type domain like I did.
Okay.
So is that enough for you to be
getting
on
with? That's plenty now. Thank you so much. That'll keep me busy for a few days, and we're on our way. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, no, really good. No, it's no problem at all. I'm happy to, because after last week's not so successful session, I was thinking, oh God, they must be. I think I made it much worse for you, actually. So apologies for that. But it's
this process for somebody who's not familiar with the content, it gets more and more confusing, and then all of a sudden I find that eventually you get some kind of breakthrough. But I think that what you've just done over the past hour plus is incredibly helpful. I have a body of knowledge now we can work with, and then it just takes, you got to spend some time doing it.
Yeah, that's right. And like you said, if in a week or a couple of weeks you want to have another jump on for a quick, you probably only need half an hour to just answer questions and stuff like that. But yes, that's no problem at all.
Good. Excellent. Appreciate it, Liam. Yep.
No problem at all. My pleasure, Russ. And good luck with it. And I know that you this is just one element, because I think you've got Cloud Play Out with us and various other bits and pieces. So we're very happy to have you with us on this. So thank you very much for trusting us with your station.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. Okay.
No problem at all. All right. What I'll do is I'll send you a link after this to the recording, so you can download it.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. All right.
No problem, Russ. Take care. Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.